Hello, welcome to Monday Street Presents. I'm Daniel, and that over there be Philip.
Oh
Hello.
no, Sunday name? Really?
Sunday name, you be a bad boy. Still on the
Being a
step.
bad boy. Well, I think I'm about to turn things round, actually. I am Eagle, Phil Eagle, and you are
Oh
Money Penny.
God.
You knew it was coming. Come on. You knew you were going to get it. You knew you were going to get that one.
Thing is, if you
Say
say
my
my
name.
name,
Say my name.
take my
My
name
name
out of your.
out of your mouth's
Why
wife.
does it immediately come out as Michael
Why did I
Caine?
say mouth's wife?
Guess we got it all backwards.
Yeah. Oh, dear me. Yeah, so welcome to Mondo Street Presents. This is a rather hastily gathered episode because we're both huge. Um, Sorry, I was leaving a pregnant pause there for you to add a joke. We're both huge James Bond fans, and the news this week that's come out about the James Bond franchise, the intellectual property, whatever you want to call it, has stirred us to action somewhat. I don't know. Do you want to lead off?
Well, it's been a while since I've been stirred to action. Yeah, baby.
Even those tablets didn't do it, did they?
They didn't.
It's
There was a lot of stirring, but no
oh,
action.
no, it's I could no, no, still nothing. No.
But yeah, the world of bonds is now part of evilcorp.com.
Ugh, God, and in
I mean,
saying that,
it
yeah,
was already, but now fully under.
well, it's kind of they've created a new alliance, haven't they, with the Broccoli Wilson and Amazon are now in joint creative control of it. But everybody knows that that really means that Amazon MGM Studios are in complete control, and
Oh
it's
yeah,
I think it's a really sad day. I think it's the loss of another great British institution.
and that in that it comes the problem
Yeah.
is that the caveats originally were that Bond has to be British, Bond has to be male, all these bits and pieces.
Mm.
That can now be thrown out the window.
I
So
think it.
I dare I say it. I wonder if we'll get. Hi, I'm Bond. Yeah, James Bond. Yeehaw! Yippee ki yay, Kimusabi.
The thing is, I think it goes. I think it goes pear shaped even more fundamentally than that. That Bond was intrinsically a cinematic venture. It
Hmm.
was, and we've touched on this with Marvel and Star Wars and Disney and the MCU and all those, that these were event films. These were films that,
Hmm.
you got hopefully every couple of years. It was always at the end of the last one, Bond will return in Octopussy or whatever the name of the film was. No snickering at that name, dirty boy. Um, and you had time to get ready for it. You had that hunger, that anticipation. What will
Mm.
happen this time? And we now know that all streaming services do is absolutely flatten the IP. They just
Hmm.
go, how thin can we spread it to get as much as possible out of it? Um, the MCU and Star Wars are the classic examples.
Oh, completely. It's diminishing returns as well. I mean, if you look at the Star Wars universe, that's been uh, mostly, let's be fair, a failure
Mm.
and or fantastic.
And or
And
what?
I,
Every time that silly joke.
the TV show Andor
Ah,
um,
right. Sorry, I'm with you.
was a fantastic series, and I can't wait for series two for that to come out. But that set at a time that I think is also maybe to do with our love of Empire Strikes Back and everything that goes with that.
Mm.
But it was
Yeah.
just well done, well acted, well written, well directed. It was cohesive. Mandalorian was good, and again, I think that starts to tail off, diminishing
Yeah.
returns there.
Yeah.
Skeleton Crew, I love. I think that's a great Star Wars series. Um, but then if you look at anything else that's been made in it, even the Boba Fett one, it was just no. just
I,
didn't hit the spot. And I
yeah.
think with that, if you are pillaging an IP to the extent that Disney did, and obviously to get bang for the buck they paid for it,
Hmm.
it's going to happen. And the three Star Wars films that came out in quick succession, back to back, also showed again diminishing returns. Yeah, they're trying to wrap up one
Yeah.
storyline or one dynasty of Star Wars to
Mm.
move it into a next one, but
Yeah.
is there the appetite anymore because of what they've done with the TV series? And again with Marvel, if you take Loki as an example, it was all right first series, but then the
Mm.
second it just went off.
Well, I
Um,
think that's the inherent issue with streamers. Streamers have to have content, and okay, you've got 27 James Bond films, something like that. Is it 27, 28? So you've got content there in a back library, but you want fresh content to bring in fresh revenue and fresh
mhm.
memberships, subscribers. And the only way that streamers can get that is by producing lots and lots and lots based on the IP.
But
And
you've
that,
hit the nail on the head. It's the word, it's the term, which apparently was the term that annoyed the broccoli. Was not the broccoli as in the thing you eat, but you know what I
oh,
mean.
not the guy out of
No,
Captain
not
America:
the
Brave New World with the broccoli head.
guy. um, was that allegedly an Amazon exec on the team that were taking on Bond was they used the word content, and that's what got people's back up. And I can understand that because that's what's going to happen is they're going to pillage Bond IP to create content. So
But
what
that's
I
the
am
only choice they've got.
exactly that is all they've got.
Streamers can't produce a film every 2 years
No,
for revenue. And we've seen this. We've seen there was a film with Mark Wahlberg and I can't remember who played his wife in it. Sorry, it came out not long ago called The Family Plan, and it was one of
oh
these.
yeah,
It was one of
it's
these,
on Apple.
yeah, a spy film. Because I think it was Michelle Monaghan. Yeah, it was. Yeah, Michelle Monaghan and Wahlberg, and it wasn't a terribly good film.
It was all right. Well, I
It
enjoyed
was
it. It
it
was
was okay. Yeah,
yeah.
there was nothing offensive in it. It wasn't like a Kevin Hart film where you think, "Oh God, shoot me now." But they're already filming the second one, and that is the thing with streamers that they've got to film, release, film, release, film, release, and that impacts quality. You cannot write a 120-minute film in 3 months. We've seen
No.
that time and time and time again, and that's what happens. And that's what's going to happen with Bond.
Well, the other problem you've got as well, which I think MCU and Star Wars again suffer from, is you have an increasing number of story strands across the IP that
Oh,
you
yeah,
have to be aware of, either they conflict, etc. So
yeah,
if they are, as I anticipate, a Money Penny
mm,
series, a Young Bond series,
yeah.
or how did Bond become James Bond sort of thing, a Q spin-off, an M spin-off,
There's going to be all of those.
a Blofeld series,
I
and then
don't know whether they'll go towards Blofeld, but the thing is that the proof of the pudding here is if you take some of the greatest TV shows of all time. So let's take Breaking Bad and The Sopranos. Okay, so if you look at Breaking Bad first, they had that run, which was the quality was outstanding all the way through because it was a well written serialized TV show. They left it for a bit, and then they did a follow up film, that El Camino, and it wasn't very good. Okay,
nope.
look at The Sopranos. They did what was it called? Now they did a follow-on film. I think it was like the Saints of. No, I'm going to get the name wrong, so I won't try and remember what it's called. But this just goes to show that if you've written something really, really well, beginning, middle, end, there's nothing left to tell because the end was the end. And when you
Well,
start
no,
spinning crap off it, that's when it starts falling to pieces.
call you out on one bit of that, which is the Breaking Bad universe, is that Better Call Saul came out.
Yeah, but that's different. That's different because Better Call Saul fits in the timeline, doesn't it? He's running along
Yeah.
the timeline. Yeah. There's interactions where they fit together. El Camino was like X
Oh, it's
number
the
of
aftermath.
months
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah.
And it's the same with The Sopranos. And it's the same with Game of Thrones. I was never a fan of Game of Thrones, but they've now done a
House of the
spin-off
Dragon.
series, and is it as good? I don't hear people raving about it. I won't watch it myself, but that's what's going to happen to Bond. They're going to take Bond. He's done in the cinema now. There might be a limited release or special presentation, something like that, and that is what will kill Bond because there's no place for even even as Fleming wrote Bond back in the 50s when he was writing him. Between now and when Daniel Craig became Bond, it's very difficult to recognize the character because of changes in
Mm.
society and what is acceptable or frowned upon. And in the space that Daniel Craig's being Bond, the world has changed. The world was not enough. Thank you very much. We'll see how many of them we can get in.
Oh, very
Yeah.
nice.
So the next Bond film, whether it was Daniel Craig, whether it was Broccoli and Wilson, whether it was anybody, had to be fundamentally different to survive at the cinema.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
think it would have broken it.
I was I was very much looking forward to the next one because I thought the last Bond was really good. I saw it in the cinema and thoroughly enjoyed it. But the I completely lost my train of thought.
It's all right. The last one was great because it gave an end to the franchise. Bond is
Mm.
dead. Okay.
Yeah.
He didn't live twice, although somebody told him you only live twice. Um, and that was then. Everyone was going, well, this is a reboot opportunity. No,
Mm.
Bond doesn't get rebooted. Bond gets recast.
Well, that's where I think Amazon are going to pick up the baton, aren't they?
And I think that's
Is
where it's going to go wrong immediately.
Yeah, and the other thing that's going to make it go wrong is that Amazon has a real problem of creating content for Prime, this as in the TV streaming service, based on algorithm.
Oh,
If
the
you look
algorithm
at
will kill Bond. Gee.
That's the problem is I reckon that it's going to be done by algorithm. And if you take Amazon across every touch point, so you've got Amazon Music,
Yeah.
Kindle,
Yeah.
the obviously Amazon.com and the Prime TV series, they through all that data are going to say, right, well, we need so and so to write the theme tune and sing the theme tune.
Well, let's not talk about theme tunes and stuff because we're going to come round to our thoughts on that. But you are 100% right. It will be the algorithm will dictate the 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 storyline. It will
Hmm.
dictate content and it will dictate character reaction and character development. Even though people will go, Doctor, no, no.
Oh my god, he's going to keep doing this.
I am
Oh,
desperately scrambling in my head for all the Bond films.
I'm
Um,
just going to have to keep telling myself I've got to live or let die. Really,
3-1.
shoehorned.
Shoehorn. That's my middle name, boy. I said, shoehorned, boy. Um, this is the problem that Amazon want viewers and subscribers, not complaint letters.
Mm,
And can you imagine now if somebody went away and made Doctor No as it was made originally, okay, with Sean Connery and his somewhat questionable past and attitudes towards women and people of different sexual orientations, it would immediately be absolutely hammered in the press. How
mm.
dare you cast somebody like that? How dare you have them doing that in a film? So, of course, it's going to be tainted by the algorithm because everything is. And my concern is that we're going to get a sterile Bond.
A sterile bond.
Yeah, that what we're going to get is we're going to get this. Oh, God. They're not going to make a Jack Reacher Bond where
No.
there's broken bones and there's headbutts and stuff like that because they want the Bond age range, don't they?
Mm,
Yeah. And I used to go and see Bond films when I was like 10.
mm.
Yeah. And you can sit down, watch them on the telly, 10. They want that whole age range. So they'll do nothing which curtails that. They won't go anywhere near a Casino Royale type of.
No.
That was another one, by the way. They won't go anywhere
Well,
near that, which was quite an aggressive film.
it was very,
Yeah,
yeah, it's very dark bond.
it was.
Yeah. It's, and going on
Sorry,
about the,
I almost cracked a joke then when you said dark Bond. I said Idris Elba, I don't think he'll get the job, but that's borderline, that one, isn't it? Apologies if Idris Elba's listening,
Good Lord.
but it's a
Um,
borderline joke. Jesus.
but I think the age range one is another interesting point because I wonder if they're going to do something for Bond that tailors to kids on the, as another spin-off.
Well, let's talk about what we talked about last night then.
Mm.
So, last night we were exchanging ideas, and we said, "Oh, how far will they go with ripping the IP apart?" And I suggested that Q would be the ideal one for kids.
Mm.
Yeah, because of the gadgets and the science and
Yeah.
the, look at it, cool. So yeah, I think you're right. I think there is a. I don't think they'll pitch Bond or a young Bond per se at a younger audience. I think they'll
No.
pick a character at a younger audience.
Yeah, I think that's the. I think you're right. That would be the opportunistic way to go.
Well,
I
that's all
think a
they're going to
young.
do.
I think young Bond would appeal to probably the audience that's like Wednesday, as an example, off Netflix.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that there could be appetite for that. I'm just really disappointed that it's gone to Bezos because this is just his wish, isn't it? It's just he wants to be Bond, and
Well,
it's
Bezos
just
is just a fencing scar away from Blofeld, isn't he?
yeah, yes, he is. And again, as we were discussing last night, I wish this had gone to Apple because Apple would have,
Oh, Apple would have done so much better with it.
yeah, that
Yeah,
it,
they would have kept it cinematic.
yeah,
They would have, and when I mean cinematic, they would have done an Apple film every 18 months
mm.
because they operate on a loss model anyway. There's no way Apple TV's ever gonna break even. No chance.
And I doubt they would do spin-offs. They wouldn't want the IP to for the universe for the
No, I,
Bondiverse.
I don't think they would, because if you look at
They
Slow
would just keep
Horses
it
now,
film. Mm,
look at Slow Horses, massively successful. Where are all the spin-offs?
mm,
Whereas you know that if Slow Horses was on Netflix or on Amazon, there'd be a spin-off already. There'd be
mm,
the younger Gary Oldman.
yeah,
Yeah. How did he
yeah, I
get
did
killed?
100%. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. It would be.
And and Apple, I don't I won't say Apple would never do that, but I don't think the creative team that make Slow Horses so successful would want to be involved in that. Because at the end of the
There's,
day, the great thing about George Lamb is he doesn't need exposition.
no, there's no source material for it. I think they're working from the books for
Yeah.
something like Slow
And
Horses
yeah.
and Bonded as well, and to a point, obviously. Um, but I think in a way it's very interesting what's to
Mm.
come from Amazon MGM because we're in uncharted waters. But knowing how Amazon is, I mean, you've only got to look at an Echo device to see all the advertising you get shoved down your throat,
Well,
left,
the
right, and
Bond films have
centre.
always been the
Oh
playing
yeah,
field for
I
sponsorship,
will.
haven't they?
I will not bow down to sponsors.
Yeah, but I will wear a Rolex and
Yeah,
I will drive an Aston Martin. Even Casino Royale is the. It's funny. We'll just go off for a little bit. It's Casino Royale was where they really, really, really suckled on the teat of sponsorship,
oh yeah.
because there's a his phone in it was it the Sony K800,
Hmm.
which wasn't exactly a great phone, but wasn't he driving a Ford Focus at one point? When he's driving towards the hotel, it's either a Ford Focus or a Ford Mondeo. And come on, guys. Bond drives an Aston Martin. Wherever he is, he drives a decent car. He doesn't drive a Ford.
Ford Focus for when you need to escape the bad guys.
Yeah, the name's Focus, Ford Focus. Oh, great. Got any special gadgets? Oh, I come with windy windows.
Reverse.
Reverse, yeah. But yeah, so I think, yeah, sponsorship, Amazon will bring every single money stream into this. And you've mentioned um, Kindle, their ebook range. Amazon Music, and we talked last night about those opportunities. Is who do you get to sing the Bond theme?
Mm.
And straight away, it has to be somebody who's relevant, who has billions of downloads, who attracts that youth market towards Bond. And I'm going to put my money on it now. It's going to be Billie Eilish doing it again.
No, I hold you to a comment you made last night that it would be Taylor Swift. Um, that would be interesting.
I think they'd get Taylor Swift if they, like I said last night, if they could do if she could release an album of Bond songs off the back of it,
Mm,
because you know what she's like with her model, where she does releases an album, then a variation of an album, then a variation of an album. So her catalog looks huge, but it's really only
mm,
6 albums.
hmm.
Yeah, um, I think they'd get her for doing that, but I don't see her voice. Haven't thought about it. I don't see her voice over a Bond theme.
No, I don't. I don't either.
No.
Um, Bond themes are always great, and if you go through the Bond theme archive and go
Mm.
to the versions that were put forward and dismissed, there are some absolute
Oh, there's
crackers
some
out there.
gems. There's
Iggy Pop.
oh that was the one I was going to use as an example. The number of songs that are Bond themes that were never Bond themes,
Yeah.
that were better than the Bond themes that were chosen.
The one I really get on my high horse about is the Radiohead one. Yes, I know you think
Yeah,
they just
no,
tune
no,
their
no. I
guitars,
agree with you.
but
I
that
agree with you.
Bond theme is a cracker.
Yeah,
And they went with Sam Smith.
which is just an awful song. It's not an
It's
awful
it's a
song.
bad.
It's his voice. It makes me want to punch speakers.
It's not. It's not. It's an average song, but his
Yeah,
voice does not suit that song at all.
no,
But if you listen to the Radiohead one,
yeah,
it's a proper Bond theme, a very
yeah,
slow paced, but has
yeah.
the orchestration there and everything. Pulp did one for The World Is
Well,
Not
what
Enough.
wasn't Sam Smith sandwiched by Chris Cornell and Adele?
I always thought that Chris Cornell was an odd choice.
Oh, it's a
It's a
great song.
great song.
Jesus Christ, it so fits the mood of the film.
It does. But when I heard, oh, Chris Cornell's doing it, I was like, what?
Oh, yeah, but you
He
always
of
go.
Soundgarden?
I think the only time I've never gone, huh, is when they said Adele was going to do it. She's got Bond vocals coming out of her
She
24/7.
has the range, darling.
She does, and interestingly, do they bring her back for it? But she's on a hiatus from music for a while. That
Again.
would be a big thing. We bring Adele back just for Bond to launch Bond for Amazon. We bring Adele back. Now
Yeah.
that would be musically a coup. You keep it exclusive to Amazon Music for 6 months, 12 months. You keep that entire library exclusive to Amazon Music, and you just watch it go ka-ching, 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 ka-ching.
Yeah. You could have a valid point in that one actually. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
But Bond themes as a whole are
It's going to
just
be a female. It's going to be a female artist because
oh
we've
yeah.
seen that whilst I think it's a toss up between Skyfall and Live and Let Die, which is my personal favorite. I think Live and Let Die just edges it slightly because there's a little bit more movement in the song.
It's a fantastic song.
It is, and not the awful Guns N' Roses version. Oh my God, I can't listen to that. It's awful. But predominantly, when you look at the history of Bond themes, it's the female artists, the female vocalists.
Shirley Bassey.
Oh, what a voice. And some of them who haven't really done a great deal. Sheena Easton. You know, it wasn't the best song, and she did kind of like disappear up Prince's Purple Kahootie afterwards, but you know, I
Purple
have no idea
Kahootie.
what a Kahootie is either, you know. And with it being purple, I don't know if it's a dangerous thing to have a Kahootie. It's one of
A
those words I
purple
just made up. Ladies and
Kahootie.
gentlemen, the Kahootie. Great name for a band.
Hootie and the Blowfish. It could
Kahootie
be
and the Blowfish.
Kahootie and the Blowfish.
Oh, dear me. But yeah, it's going to be a female singer. I get that. You know, I'm always what was her name now? Jesus, how the hell do I forget names? It's been a long week. It's been a long day. Back in Black.
Amy Winehouse.
How the hell didn't she get a Bond theme?
Yeah, very good point.
Seriously, how the hell didn't that voice get on a Bond theme?
Mm.
Imelda May, how hasn't she done a Bond? Well, they haven't done them because one of them's dead and there hasn't been a Bond film for 3.5 years. So that's why people are missing out. But those are voices that I would,
Mm.
Billie Eilish's song was lovely. It was great. Does it have the legs, the longevity of Skyfall? No. Does it have the longevity of Live and Let Die? No. So why not give it to an alternative artist?
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I just have a funny feeling that they'll ask someone like Beyonce to do it
Oh, for fuck's
and bring it.
Sorry, that naughty word slipped out then.
Bring
What,
it
so she can do
into.
a yeehaw, here comes Jimmy Bond, yeehaw.
I just wonder. I wonder, and sort of moving away from Bond themes. I have this nagging suspicion that Mr. Bezos is gonna he's gonna have his name as a producer on it. I
Oh,
can pretty much
that's,
guarantee that. But I
well, I
wonder if
think,
he's gonna ask for himself to have a cameo.
no, no. The only tech billionaire that could have a part in a Bond film is Elon Musk. Because
Uh,
as much
he's in his own
as,
cinematic
yeah,
universe at the
no,
moment.
but you look at Bezos and you look at the guy off Facebook, Jesse
Zuckerberg,
Eisenberg. Yeah, I can't even. Zuckerberg. My brain for names tonight is awful. Um, you look at
my
those
name for
two.
brains.
They are irritating, and Bill Gates as well. They're irritating as shit, but they're pretty harmless. They want your money, and that's about it. Whereas Musk is definitely a Bond villain. Do you see me that chainsaw last night?
Yeah, yeah.
The chainsaw for bureaucracy, and he's running around like some kind of sea lion being tasered. Oh my god, he is a Bond villain.
I don't think he is. I think if you're a Bond villain, I think if you're I think
Stutters are
if
forever, forever.
forever, I think if he was a villain, he would be an Austin Powers villain. Hello, Mr. Musk. I'm so pleased to meet you.
Have you got any Krugerrands with you now, Austin Powers?
Can't behave.
Where I come from, the great South Africa, we do not have people like you.
Hello, Mr. Musk.
Hello, good doctor.
I would like lasers on my frickin' sharks. Can you do it, Techno Bro?
Of course, I can put shocks on my freaking Tesla. I'm stopping the South African accent now because it's going to go towards Jamaica and I can just feel it sliding. I'm sorry.
Say hello to my Tesla sharks.
Oh my God. I've built this 1/3 size robot for you. I shall call him Mini Tesla.
Mini
Mini
Musk.
Musk. Mini Musk.
I should call him Mini Musk.
Mini Musk. Oh my God. Yeah. 1/3 the size, but full of evil.
Put the chainsaw down, Mini Musk.
No Mini Musk. No flamethrower.
Get out of your Cybertruck.
He couldn't even get into a side. You've seen those stupid things. What a stupid excuse for a car. That nothing screams louder. I have no penis than a Cybertruck.
And it's going to be the next Bond car.
No, it won't. I'd put money on it because they're not legal over here.
Nope.
No.
No. Anyway, we digress from.
We do
from
digress.
Bond.
Mini Musk is an absolute classic. Thank you for that. I will hold that cherished in my heart forever. Mini Musk. Brilliant. Yeah, so we were talking about how do they take the Bond story forward? How would we do it? Yeah, not how they're going to do it. They're going to do it by, well, frankly, we're going to be disappointed whatever they do. Yeah, but we talked.
Yeah.
We
Dwayne
talked
the
last
Rock
night.
Johnson as Bond. Yeah, I wouldn't discount it.
I would. No, he couldn't. They couldn't. No, there's one worse. Are you ready for this?
Uh-oh.
Ryan Reynolds as Bond. Jesus Christ. You know, imagine that. Looks knowingly at the camera. Are you evil? Oh my God. The name's Bond. James Bond. Oh my God.
Now that we're on Prime, we're going to break down the fourth wall.
Oh my God. Could you imagine it? If they were the two choices, I'd rather have The Rock because at least he can kick ass.
Here's a funny one for you then. Because they've got the IP for both of these, a Bond Reacher crossover. Those are words that shouldn't be put in the same sentence.
I honest to God thought you were going to say it's a Bond reach around.
A
we
Bond
have
Reacher crossover.
we have ways of making you talk, Mr. Bond. Okay, but if you just finish what you're doing first, and I'll tell you whatever you want to know. Yeah, sure. I normally only get an orange juice. Um, I,
I, I, I'm I'm
I
just putting
can't.
everything out on the table
I
here
just
because
can't see them taking it that seriously to think about crossovers. There's enough within the IP. See, it doesn't matter what's in the IP. They're going to bastardize it. They're going to break it. The first, the first Bond TV show or whatever it is that they release, everyone's going to go, "Is that it?" And then they'll try and step up the quality a little bit, but then it will dip down again when they realize how expensive it is. Quality equals cost.
well they did it with they've already done a spin-off. That god awful
Kevin Spacey is Bond.
I that it, there was a point in our conversation where into my head popped in Kevin Spacey is the evil one.
Kevin
And then
Spacey came in your head.
I remember that he did Doctor Evil in
Kevin Spacey came into your head. Ring Guy Pearce quickly.
that he did Doctor Evil, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, they
Oh,
did that. The
I
Road
know
to
it's.
whatever it was
I know who it's
with
going to
Brian
be.
Cox.
I know who it's going to be. Glenn Powell.
Random.
Out of Twisters.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's going to be him.
he has been rumored as one of those that's.
I'm not in a serious way because he's not really an actor, is he? He's got
I
that leading man jaw, and he's got all of the attributes to be, hunk of the week, but no acting ability. He's going to be the next Bond for
so do
Amazon.
I, but they didn't tap me up for Bond.
No, they tapped you up for Doctor Evil, didn't they?
At least they threw me a freaking bone.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the original Blofeld, you were him. Glenn Powell, seriously?
No, I, I, I get he does have the visual aesthetic to a point, but I don't think he's got the acting chops to make a Bond.
Sorry, does he have an aesthetic or an aesthetic? Which one is it? North-South divide there. No, because if seriously, if they're all about the money, okay, they're going to bring it up to right bang up to now, okay? So it's going to be set current day. He's going to be Bond, and it's going to be world population control. That's what they're going to do. We'll look back at this episode in 2 years' time and go, shit, that was pretty accurate. That,
Mm,
yeah.
why did Bezel have to have so much money that he bought MGM?
Why did nobody put up a fight?
I don't know.
Because the whole thing with MGM Studios is other properties do they have that you want?
Mm.
It's all about Bond.
Yep.
Yeah,
And the
all
thing
about
is, there
Bond.
was such resistance
Yeah,
to handing it fully over, the creative control.
yeah.
But I heard on an interview podcast that they were saying that the reason there's been this delay is because there was so much pushback and then it went quiet. for a few months previous. Oh Jesus,
It's your grinder profile, isn't it? Pushback.
Jesus,
Sorry.
take the wheel. And there's been is because that this contract or agreement to relinquish complete creative control was being worked on. I I don't think that was the case. I think it was stalled because the Broccoli's were pushing back on it so much. That's what she said. Um, that it stalled, and then I think Bezos or Amazon just put, "We'll give you this much,"
Oh, it was
and they just went,
undoubtedly.
"Okie dokie."
Yeah, it was like a scene in Succession. If you think about the very first episode of Succession, where Jeremy Strong's character is trying to buy a company, and the guy
Yeah.
goes, "We're not for sale. We're not for sale. We're not for sale. We're not for sale." And then he goes back and he goes, "How about that? No, we're not for sale. Right, tell you what. Here's a stupid number."
Mm.
And the guy goes, "We're for sale." That's exactly what happened here, and it's disappointing. It really is.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah,
stepping back to focus on their charitable side.
yeah, sure. So, how we would do Bond if we were moving forward, we would the first how would we would how we would do Bond, and the first film that comes into your head is the Human Centipede. Really?
No,
You live on your own. What are you doing?
no, this just wobbled.
Yeah. Somebody's having a seizure. Um, how we
Why
would
are
do
you the
it,
way you are?
because I am. The way we would do it, we were talking about doing a slightly older Bond at the end of his career, but assessing who would be the next Bond on a mission. And in that mission would be, we'd have Gary Oldman as the older Bond, finishing off his career. And then we would have, was it three Bonds? I can't remember now. I think it was. It was, who was it? Oh, Tom Hardy, Idris Elba, and Tom Hiddleston.
That'd be so good.
Yeah. And they all go off on this one big mission. Yeah. Which is also a test at the same time. And the arc of the story is that there's a death, a mole, and a new Bond.
Money, money,
Money,
money,
money,
money,
money, money, money,
money.
money. That didn't take long, really, did it? But that gives a lovely finish to Bond, and then lets you see. Jesus, this is quickly descending from away from, we're so sad about James Bond, to auditioning for Austin Powers now. Yeah, let's finish off Bond. Which way? Get Jack Reacher.
Behave.
Get Jack Reacher around it. He'll be in. Um, I think that'd be a really good way, but they won't do that. They're going to take the reset. I hoped that it might be something like Jack Loudon out of Slow Horses.
So horses.
I think he'd make a decent Bond, or Jack O'Connell out of SAS Heroes. I think he'd make a down and dirty Bond. I think Tom Hardy in reality is, I don't know. I think the Venom series has mostly hurt his cachet too much.
I don't know. He'd make a great Bond though, because he's. I think he'd make a great Bond though, because he's got the look. He is suave. He's cool.
Yeah,
But at the same time, you just have that edge of he's gonna snap and punch my skull in at any moment.
I would.
And
I
I
would
think
completely agree with you. I would.
that's what Bond needs, is that element of, "Oh, I'm treading on thin ice here."
Yeah, I just can't see that being the direction Amazon take for a TV show, though, because that is
Or
then
maybe he comes out talking like Bond.
James Bond, James Bond. Um,
Thinking, not stoned.
they've already got Reacher, and Reacher is that character who is very imposing
Mm.
and can snap. I think they're going to go as mild as they possibly can. You know,
Charming, handsome.
yeah.
Where do I sign up?
Yeah, because don't forget Tom Hardy's latest film, Havoc, is sitting on a shelf somewhere,
Mm.
and that, by all accounts, looks insane. It looks like, you know, all out action adventure. Lots of bullets, lots of broken bones and stuff, which could well be his audition for Bond. Henry Cavill won't get it.
No, that is a shame because but I think he's too bulked now to be Bond.
I think,
He's a Bond that's had too many protein shakes, creatine powder,
yeah,
and been in the gym a bit too long. And I
he's
don't
done
think
his
that's a
reps, hasn't
Bond.
he? Yeah, I like the reps. I think that the thing with Henry Cavill is that his baggage is Superman. What is funny about his baggage is Superman. Wow.
Who's the pause gave his baggage? Superman.
I don't think I left that much of a pause. The way he was dumped from Superman was pretty bloody awful.
Hmm.
And his work since Superman's been a bit. He's had Argyle and the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare,
Hmm.
which was better than Argyle. Argyle was just a dog
But
turd.
also, he's doing the Warhammer stuff now.
And
The
Highlander,
Warhammer series.
apparently.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, didn't know that one.
Yeah.
I know. So he's going to be heavily invested in Warhammer because that's
Yeah.
that's a personal thing for him.
Oh,
so
yeah, totally.
that he'll
So I
be
just
totally
don't.
invested in that. So
I
that
think.
actually rules him out of Bond.
Well, I think his salary expectation would rule him out as well, because having earned $20 million for a Batman v Superman film, he's going to want $1 million an episode,
Mm.
and Amazon will want that to be on the screen, not on the person.
Yeah, when you look at film financing, half to nearly 2/3 of that budget is on star salary
Yeah,
of a given film.
yeah. Apart from that, what was that one that they released last year? I'm gonna have to look it up. There was
Who
a film.
released?
There was a I think it was it Amazon? It was like $20 million an episode.
Well, the Lord of the Rings one.
No, it was some really
See,
silly.
that's another example of Amazon taking IP and I think damaging it.
Yeah,
Is the Lord of the Rings series because no one really talks about it. I've watched half of the first series they did and I tuned out. It just meh.
it's
And it's
meh
all
is the
gone
right
very
word.
excuse me. It's all gone very quiet
Yeah,
considering there are meant to be other spin-offs from the Lord of the Rings universe.
yeah, yeah.
It's all gone very quiet and I wonder if that's another piece of IP. So I hope we're not going to have a precursor to a Bond film is a Bond series that then leads into the film because that is going to suck.
Yeah, but they just. I All I know is that they're going to mess it up.
Yeah.
That's all I know. They're not going to get it right because they've got no interest in getting it right. They've got an interest in getting the bang for buck. Yeah.
Yeah.
They want to put $1 in and get $20 out. That's all
Yeah.
they're interested in.
Oh, they do it. They get the audiobooks for Audible be reread by the new Bond, probably.
Yep.
They'll probably do, yeah.
No,
new Kindle
no.
editions.
You've missed the trick. They won't have the audiobooks read by the new Bond. They'll have them read by stars from the old films.
No, I don't think they would. I don't think they would.
Daniel Craig will do. Seriously, you throw enough money at somebody, they'll do anything.
No, because they want to keep it relevant. They want to keep it in their ring-fenced area of what they've been doing with Bond. I reckon it'll be the stars of the new Bond films.
Yeah. So here's a TV show that was that Prime did. It was called Citadel.
Oh God, yeah,
Yeah. Most people go, what?
yeah.
Citadel? What? If I can just find what the budget was, it was something obscene. It was like the most expensive thingy ever. You can tell it was bad by the cast. Richard Madden and Priyanka Chopra and Stanley Tucci wasted himself in it. They've hidden the cost on IMDb. Citadel's first season was 6 episodes.
Hmm.
Okay. What was the budget for 6 episodes?
120 million.
Nope.
Higher or lower? Higher or lower?
Higher or lower? You get higher.
180 million.
Higher.
240 million.
$300 million was the production budget for 6 episodes.
That's probably why no one knows about it, because there was no money left for marketing.
Oh, they would have marketed it as well and spent $300 million on marketing it. But this is the thing. This is on a streamer. Okay. The IMDb reviews, or the general reviews, were awful. I watched half of one episode. And you know me, I watch some rubbish sometimes.
Yeah, you do.
I watched half of one episode before I went, I'm out. Okay.
Gee whiz.
There's a second season coming. Okay. We have no visibility of viewer numbers. We have no visibility of revenue generated by that film. We have nothing. And that's exactly what they're going to do with Bond.
Yeah.
They're just going to throw an insane amount of money at it and make an insane amount of money out the back end as well.
I reckon it will still go to cinemas as a normal Bond film would do.
No.
I reckon it would, just to get that revenue, and then 3 or 4 weeks later it'll be on Prime.
Come on. Right. You're paying an Amazon Prime subscription, which is what? A tenner? Yeah, you're paying £10 a month to watch adverts before you watch your TV programs and your films. Okay, grabbing bastard. Okay, they say to you, the next Bond film is out in cinemas, okay, and will then be included in your Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Okay. 4 weeks later, are you going to spend 20 quid going to the cinema to see it?
No.
When you've already paid £10 to see it. It's the same thing. You look at Disney Plus. They've got a lot of films going through there because of their affiliation with Hulu in the States. And what is their Star, which is their UK subscription? I think it's Hulu, actually. If we'd known, or actually I did know that films were going straight on there, or cinema and then on there, and I didn't go to the cinema because of that. I've already paid my subscription. I'm not paying twice for something.
Yeah. No, I get that. I sort of do the same, but with kids, going to the cinema is actually quite a nice all-round experience. So it's something to do, and it is good good fun. So we tend to do that, but it's rare I'll go to the cinema myself now. I usually just wait for it to come in.
Yeah.
On a streamer, or buy it on Apple.
COVID killed cinema.
COVID killed a lot of things.
Killed the guy in our chippy.
Yeah, it did kill quite a lot of things, didn't it? Stupid comment, Daniel.
Right, we shall wrap up now. We'll wrap up now by saying that Bond will return.
Along with Minnie Musk.
I wonder what the name of the first Bond episode, whatever it is, will be.
Bond in Prime shipping available.
No, as in a serious title for it. As in, would they be as bold as to do something like Up the Amazon or something like that?
What? Carry on, Phil.
Carry on, Bond, up the Amazon, son. Oh, Mason, please.
Go it, buddy, buddy.
Oh! Nice beaver. No, that one over there, love. Don't be silly. God, we've got that to come soon, haven't we? We've got Brain again. God.
What, a new Carry On?
No, the remake of Naked Gun.
Oh gosh, yeah.
with
Ham
Ham?
and cheese toasty.
No, Liam Neeson and Pamela
Oh
Anderson.
God, yes.
Oh, why?
I can see
Let's
Pamela.
leave
I
that.
can see Pamela Anderson pulling it off.
That's what she said.
Thank you. I was just leaving a space there for that. Liam Neeson, though?
Nah.
No. Leslie Nielsen was a one-off. He was absolutely a one-off. But we won't go there. So, what will the first Bond film be called? Who will sing the song? Who will write it? Who will produce it? Who will direct it? God, all we can do is sit back and watch the old films and remember the old ways, the old days, the blast from the past,
They literally don't make them like they used to.
the rave from the grave. Wah, 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 wah.
Ba-dum.
Doobie doobie. Sorry, you weren't doing the Muppets then?
No.
No.
Da 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 da. Bop 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 bop.
Ba-dum. Doobie doobie. If we had been prepared, one of us would be playing the famous Bond chord now to close the episode down. Yeah. Okay, Dan just did a paralyzed squirrel then. Thank you very much. So from me, Bond, James Bond, it is. Good night. From Moneypenny, it is.
Behave.
Oh, Minnie Musk, Minnie Musk, Minnie Musk.